Legionnaires of the Lariat, we are back with our review of Crown Jewel. With me, as always, is my tag team partner, Steve Zapf, and Hound is here with us in spirit. He's okay. He's fine. He's just not here today. Steven, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good. I think Hound just has the sniffles. I know he's been having the sniffles the last couple of weeks. We can give him a day off. He's been working hard for us.
I know that we joke about. I know there's big jokes around men and the man cold or the man flu, how it takes us out. He's a big man, so I think it hits him even harder than us normal sized men.
He is a larger than average size man.
Thank you for joining us for this recap show. I will say, our prediction show, most popular and viewed video we've ever made. Thank you for all of you who watched it, took the time to like, subscribe. Gained a couple followers. A ton of you guys seem to like that content. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the support. We will get into our recap, figure out who won. Spoiler, it could have been any of us. And on top of it all, overall, I thought Crown Jewel was the quintessential average non-tentpole show. It was good. It was fine. Good with a shrug. It was better than okay. Wasn't great.
It was a Saudi show.
Moments. It was a Saudi show.
You know what? I agree with Hound on this one. I think I might be into this if like Saudi shows were almost like not non-canon.
I like that comment. I think we were talking about that the other day as well. The non-canon thing would be perfect for these shows. I also thought we had 7 matches on the show, so I figured that we'd get a little bit more wrestling and maybe less Saudi tourism. I was wrong. I'll take that L in the prediction bucket.
There's the L.
Because man, oh man, they were everywhere trying to tell us how great and progressive and all of that stuff Saudi Arabia is. I'm sure it's better than I'm giving credit. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm American. We don't do well with the geography, but. They're really.
I'm glad you
didn't
put that in your predictions.
No, not at all. But I thought we'd get a little more matches, but there was a couple really short ones in this to leave time for that that Saudi tourism aspect
and the 40-minute entrances.
I will say the European crowds eat the Saudis crowd's lunch when it comes to the crowd noise. The Americans crowd's lunch as well, but. Though, like the Germany, the Scotlands of the world, the Frances, they get up for these shows. Saudi was just a normal crowd. Not that they were a bad crowd. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but they weren't up like the Europeans were. So good for you, Europeans, wherever you happen to be on that map. Steven,
I think that's also the culture, though. I think they're a quieter group. It's also who is it? Iglesias, Fluffy, the comedian, he goes, he said he did a bit out there and they were like, you just always seem so angry. He's like, we're not angry. We're just hot. It's hot face.
Fair enough. I'm not envious of Europeans in many regards. They got some good things like, universal healthcare is kind of a cool thing. But their songs, when they sing at sporting events, getting up, I wish we sung more at sporting events. That would be fun. Get behind those chants and those. We got some good chants. I'm always wearing a sport. I'm not wearing it right now. I have my sports allegiances. We have some chants. We have a goal song for the Rangers, but it's not quite the same. So I digress. Let's get into this review. Steven, what do you think overall of this show?
I thought it was good. I think if it wasn't such a way of once you put a little bit more thought into it, and we'll go more into it while we're talking about the review, the show, if you really put some thought into it and how they did stuff, it does become a little bit more on the predictable side. But overall, the show was good. It had good like the matches themselves were good. Some of them were just a little short. Some of them had 40-minute entrances. Bloodline. Cody.
Like you do.
I don't know who had a longer entrance, Jey Uso, Cody, or Roman Reigns.
I mean, at least Roman shared it with Jimmy.
That's true.
The I will say, of the predictions that I got wrong, I only really got half of that. I don't want to give away the number, but the other half they got wrong, in my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. There's one that I could have seen going either way. Other one where I'm still, I don't know what they were thinking, and I'll get into those in a second. So let's kick off the show like they did. So I don't want to say surprisingly, but I feel like the first match was either going to be Gunter versus Cody, or what we got with the Bloodline versus the Bloodline 2.0, the new Bloodline, the bad Bloodline. I don't know, whatever else we want to call it.
Evil Bloodline.
They got so many
They've
things.
got goatees.
The solo Bloodline, which makes it sound like there's only one person there, but there is four. So we had this match. I'm happy we started with this match, and they told a pretty good story. I was a little nervous about what they were going to do here. We talked about this in depth around the new Bloodline just getting rolled by the original Bloodline, and they did. But they told a kind of a generic story, one that was very predictable. We all had 2.0 winning that, and that's the results. What were some of your thoughts on this one, Steven?
So, I figured if this, like you said, if this wasn't last, this was going to be first.
If you're not first, you're last.
If you're the first or last at this point. Roman is smart enough to have taken the Paul Heyman's teachings, where with his stuff, he wanted to make sure he got that virgin ring. He's big on that. If he's not going on last and ending the show, he wants to be in the shower by the time the second match is going on, type of thing.
Yeah.
The other side of this is I would have changed one thing right in the beginning. They announced who the 3 members of Bloodline 2.0 that were going to be wrestling were going to be. I would have kept that. I would have kept that a secret. I would have had Solo be like, "We're not telling you until the match starts," because they do. They announce it as Solo, Tama, and Jacob. Which, how's it gotta feel for Tonga? Like, do you think Tonga Loa knows he's a walking meme at this point?
I think he does, and it's contagious in this match, if you know what I mean. What I would have liked to have seen is Tama Tonga and Tongaloa come down with their old school white face paint, but identically painted. So one could have snuck in. Like when you're at kind of like in a big group, like you ever who used to do that? Like the wrestler 1, 2, and 3 or whatever, or
and Demolition used to do it all the time, and some of those guys. And
like he would just there was an extra guy out there, but he'd sneak in because he had the same mask or the same face paint, and the ref was reffing it up, and I just didn't notice that it's the wrong person. It looks down, and the other guy's just sitting there casually, like, "Oh, ain't no thing. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I didn't do anything wrong." I think that could have been really cool, and just like a nice little nod to their past. But
I think that would have been cool as well. I also think if they had done it kind of how I said it, where they just didn't announce who it was going to be until they tagged the third person in. Like, we're not going to tell you until the third guy gets in, and then you see the fourth guy jump off the apron. Yeah,
have them all standing on the apron the whole time. Yeah. Like,
we didn't tell you. We just said it's going to be 3 of our members.
Sure, that would have been cool. I liked how strong 2.0 looked in this match. The finish was clean.
Clean win
on Roman.
Roman.
He got 2 clean wins on Roman. Can we talk about that for a second? Where Jimmy was late for the breakup or whatever. I had to rewind that when I was watching. I was like, did Roman just get pinned and the ref just stopped the count? What is up with these across the sea shows and the botches in this match, in this card? There was 3 botches in the first. There was 3 botches, 3 major botches throughout all these matches, maybe 4. Some big ones. LA Knight crotches himself.
LA Knight crotches himself.
Io messes up hers. She jumped up easily. She rebounded pretty quickly. There was just quite a few of them, and I like it always seems to happen on these. Nothing tops Priest getting his ankles stuck in the ropes, but
so with this show, I don't want to give too much leeway, but I'm going to give a little bit of leeway, and I'm going to go back to the hot thing. I know that they do use actual ropes, but they are still wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna sweat a little. The ropes are actually gonna sweat a little bit at this point.
Well, then that you give credit for the other two. This match has no excuse.
Oh no, this one not
sorry,
this one.
yeah.
I just meant this show, not the other botches. Fair. Like the other indoor botches, I can't call on. But like for this show, like LA slipping, EO slipping, I can kind of give a little bit of leeway, and they covered it up kind of quickly enough to like
EO rebounded really nicely. I liked how LA Knight talked about it afterwards, and saying like, now that I've won, I know I messed that spot up. I thought I rebounded okay, but I'm going to be back in the gym tomorrow doing at least 10 of these a day for the next 2 months until I get that perfect. And I'm like, that's the right way for a babyface to come in and own his mistake and say, I'm going to get better for you guys. So I think that.
And I also like that they treated it like, well, yeah, I slipped up the move a little bit, but I'm still going to go for the move because if this was a real athletic competition, that's what you would do. You would probably 100%. Still be trying for it. So all around though, I didn't mind this match. I like the end. I like the dissension between the original Bloodline.
That was the low hanging fruit of the storyline of we're not on the same page. That's how they beat us. Jay comes out to his own entrance music. He doesn't come down with Jimmy and Roman.
Sammy's kind of a turd.
So I've been holding back. Let's before we get to Sammy, let's just finish up the match part, like the in match thing, because I got some thoughts on Mr. Zayn, and I really liked how protected the spike is being at this point in time, because in all honesty, that one spike put Roman down. Kick out, or like he didn't kick out. Like
no, he had to get
regardless if Jimmy got there in time, Roman was done. And like it's Roman. It's not like it was Jimmy. Even Jay. Like Roman was done with one spike, and then he got spiked twice. I really thought that was showing some real strength on Solo's part. And I think he took a step up in the rung for me. Like I almost feel like it's I know what's going to happen in Survivor Series and all that stuff. Like we can figure that stuff out later. But that him being so strong there almost makes me feel like I want to root for him and like have them be the new Bloodline and have them be legitimate contenders moving forward. Because like right now, you look at this and Jacob Fatu is the only one that's really bubbling to the top with this group. Maybe the Tongans can get their act together and like be a formidable tag team, which will be great. But then Solo, I don't know what they do with Solo once this is all said and done. But this I really enjoyed him in this match. I enjoyed this match in general. The aftermath. I thought Jay coming over and saving Roman was great because he had been away from him. I really didn't understand why he wouldn't tag Roman in. I know that Roman was like, "Go ahead, tag me," and it wasn't Roman demanding to be tagged in. The fans were chanting his name
exactly
for Mr. Babyface, Mr. Yeet, who they get up for. Yeah, you probably should have listened to them. And then even Jimmy getting all mad, but then not tagging in Roman didn't make any damn sense.
Like, why didn't he just tag in Roman right afterwards?
I mean, that's my head scratcher because they wanted the hot tag. I get the psychology is part of it, but the story that they were trying to tell there didn't make any sense. I get why. So Sammy comes down. The match is over. We can go to Sammy. So I'm gonna dunk on Sammy for a second.
I'm waiting for this. Oh, I've been waiting. I've been waiting days for this.
The face that is Sammy. Let me take it back a little bit to the original Bloodline when you had the Usos, and Roman and Sammy and Solo. Solo and Sammy were always cool. They were always cool. Like even when even when Solo attacked him, it was always on orders. And like Sammy used to crack Solo all the time. And it was it was more endearing than anything else. Like I could believe that like when everyone was fighting, Solo and Sammy were like, hey, let's go get some Orange Julius or something like that. Those things still exist.
I don't know. You know what I haven't had in a while? Big League Chew.
Big League Chew. Let's go grab a Jamba Juice and we'll be good. Not a sponsor, but you could be. Orange
Julius, if you're still around.
Yeah, I would love that. So when he comes down to the ring, there is a believable story that Solo goes with them after everyone else kind of turned their back on Sammy, and because it's all his fault, but because they all kind of moved away. And the big baby face in the part of the world he's some of the most over gives Solo that big hug and then exploder suplex, just the way a face should do it. What in the world? If you want the Sami Zayn character on how he's built, should have come in there begging off Solo and like sacrificing himself to stop him from killing Jay. Like that's his move, not the underhanded hug exploder suplex. You're the bad guy. You are the bad guy. That's how that works.
I mean, we've been saying that.
When you come in under false pretenses and attack someone, that's an underhanded move. You're being unscrupulous. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. So now Bloodline 2.0 is fully the faces, in my opinion.
Doesn't matter that they were about to break main event Jey Uso's neck.
I mean, you can only be pushed so far. You know, Solo was lied to. You already said half the Tongans are a meme at this point in time. Jacob Fatu, loyal soldier. I mean, like, and then the other side, Roman, bad guy, the worst heel for 4 years. Jimmy, with his, Jimmy is the human version of the hyenas from The Lion King.
Yes.
Jay is a face. I'll get it, but he's petty. And Sammy is a snake in the grass that really tries to break up everybody's happy families, even if they're not good. I get it. Bloodline was not good, guys. I mean, I'm telling a good story here. Like this is how I see it.
I'm in. I'm actually agreeing with you for once.
Like Solo might be top 3 faces in the organization right now. Just because he won't take their shit, everyone looks bad or mad at him.
Him and Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes because he's super babyface. But we'll
Cody
get
Rhodes
there.
Not a babyface.
He's working towards it.
He's a politician. There's a huge difference.
Fair. So top 2.
Real quick before we do move on, though, I do want to highlight something. I know we highlight and we gush over this guy a lot, but Jacob Fatu is a machine.
Mm-hmm.
He's an absolute, like, a guy that big that moves like that shouldn't exist, because he hit move after move after move, and was just, and like it made sense the way he hit them too. Like
he's so fast.
He's so fast, but like the way he moves, you still catch everything that he's doing,
mm-hmm.
And clean. It makes sense with how he's doing it. Like, I know Roman and The Rock are considered the best of the actual Bloodline in its entirety,
mm-hmm.
but Jacob might really be the guy that puts it all together.
The like best everything. So
far, that's what I mean. I think Jacob and Solo might actually be the next guys. Solo had to go a little further, I think, than Jacob did, but Solo's really impressing me lately, and Jacob has been impressing me for 5 years.
The Solo just needs to figure out who he is. I think that's his problem. He's living in this gray area with his character that isn't committed to either being kind of on the light side or being this boss. You can't be the final boss or whatever. He's like a middle boss because The Rock is the final boss. But
An
either
underboss.
like either be one of the main battle guys or be kind of funny. Like when he's walking way backwards, like laughing at them after the Helova kick spear combo, which everyone overreacting on that is pandemonium. Like Jimmy really overreacted on that front, though. I half think that Sammy did it on purpose just to keep that stuff going.
He ran late. I'm just saying.
It's, I don't know. He did it on purpose. He is on Solo's side.
Or at least on Kevin Owens' side. Oh, there's the third biggest babyface.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens, third biggest babyface.
Just trying to tell everybody how crazy they are.
Kevin Owens, Solo Sikoa, and Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. Makes sense.
I love all of those guys, by the way.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Oh.
So that was it. We all had this picked correctly. You, me, and Hound had this choice. I thought this one was obvious because I think that they're going to build to them losing later. I am just curious what they're going to do with the Bloodline because this is what happens with these factions when they don't know what to do with them or they want to put over the older versions of them. Like it happened with the Judgment Day. It's happening across the board. With it kind of happened with not really Alpha Academy, I guess, but they kind of build them up to knock them down, and I don't want to see that in these guys because. Like I don't know what they're going to do when they break these factions up because there's just going to be too many of these guys running by themselves, like so I guess fighting each other.
So many scary Islanders just hanging out.
Keeping them in the Bloodline is like a tactical decision of being like, all right, let's just keep these guys in this band together because
this way we know where they are. They're all right there.
Otherwise, they're going to NWO this shit and they're just going to take over everything.
Oh.
So with that, we'll move on to the women's tag team titles. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Lash Legends, Jakara Jackson, Damage Control, and Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. This match was. I enjoyed this match more than I expected I would. This is not my type of match. There's just too many people in it.
A lot of Jamokin.
Was there a lot of Jamokin?
There was a good amount of Jamokin.
I didn't really notice all that much because like the action in the ring was so quick. And like since you like this isn't really Jamokin when you're not the legal person.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
So I'm gonna put this out there. I've been a little unfair to Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson in the last couple weeks. I agree. But I am gonna say this. Jakara Jackson, I think, has it. Lash Legend, unfortunately, is being set up for failure. And here's what I'm going to say. Lash Legend is going to fall into that same grouping as other women that we have spoken about, who are supposed to be pulling off these power moves. And they can't quite cleanly pull off these power moves.
Do you know who did a really good job of that in this match? Piper Niven.
Yeah, Piper Niven pulls off her moves perfectly.
There was an awkward powerbomb spot where someone came up and she just muscled. I don't remember exactly what it was, but she just muscled her in the right spot and put her down. It wasn't like she tried to muscle her up and she fumbled. It was just so fast that she got to a certain spot. It was in the wrong spot. She just ripped right to the spot it was. I was like, oh, she's strong. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's the thing is I think Lash Legend might be like in the weight room strong, like Jade Cargill is strong. Sure. And I think that doesn't always translate into in-ring strength. When you're trying to hold a person, it's a lot different. And like even the way she's doing her, like when she hits her finish and stuff, it's so slow looking. And I don't want to bash on her because I think she has a lot of talent. I think she has a lot of promise. She has a great look. Again, the reason why I call her and Jakara, Bianca and Jade Light is because they're Bianca and Jade Light. They literally gave them the same basic look. as these other two girls and threw them in the same match as the women's world champions who look almost exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm actually not surprised because I think what they like is this look in the tag team, and they're building to break up Bianca and Jade. So this will be able to fill that spot pretty easily. Unfortunately, I think that they are currently handling this division completely wrong. You were wrong, but right by default on this match. This is what I was talking about beforehand. I didn't talk to or hear a single person tell me. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Every single person I talked to, every single thing I listened to, everyone said, I really want Chelsea and Piper to win this match. Every
Everyone.
single person wanted that. Not only did they not win this match, but they took the pin. Piper took the pin. Like, I am astounded that that's the route they went here. Now, winning or not winning, there's a lot of opportunity here. I think this is time for Bianca and Jade to drop these. They when they dropped them the first time, they just kind of tarnished this whole run. It's not doing what they wanted to do. They're just floating around. Like this division is just keeping these two women warm for whatever's going to happen next, and it's just ruining the women's tag division.
I agree.
And like Chelsea Green and Piper Niven winning this would have been great. Damage Control winning this, though they're not the true Damage Control tag team. That's why I thought they were going to be the ones that ended up losing this. Would have been a better choice, which is what Hound had. I don't think that Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson are quite ready for it yet.
I just don't think they're there yet.
Yeah, it's not now. It's when, but not now. It'll ultimately happen. I'm not worried about it. I'm not in a hurry to get there. Once they're ready, they'll get there for this aspect of things. Like, I was just disappointed. I'll take the L here because that's how these rankings work. But I wasn't the one that was wrong here. I think WWE was wrong here. Piper and
he's always
Chelsea
right.
Like, they deserve this. You know what? Later on, I'll say that I wasn't necessarily right. I wasn't necessarily wrong, but it could have gone either way. But I don't know. Chelsea and Piper could have really won this. I just want to see them do something with Chelsea because they're just wasting her right now. And what's going to end up happening is they're going to waste her until they release her, and they're going to give her 5 minutes an episode. I just think she's so over. And I actually have a really good gimmick or idea for Chelsea that I'm going to have to I have to talk to her some way because I have a really good idea for her to really blow up. So I'll leave that as a teaser for later.
So I know how much you love Chelsea Green. So I'm going to throw this idea at you, Showtime, because obviously we want her to get pushed. Now, what if the pushing was not in a wrestling aspect, though? And I don't mean as manager either. What if Chelsea Green did like a weekly, like Piper's Pit talk show?
That would be cool as well. Like I think. I mean,
she's so good with what she does. Don't get me wrong, but at least we would actually have her there weekly, entertaining us. Like, she would be the head of it, the Chelsea Green show.
Yeah. So I'm for that. The thing is, Money in the Bank. She impressed me so much in the ring in that moment that I was like, now I want to see her in the ring. And it's not just getting her ass kicked. Like, I want to see her do something in the ring right now. She has ring skills, and I think her and Piper are a great tag team.
She was trained by Lance Storm.
Yeah, I mean, and they just don't use her in that capacity. She just gets squashed because she's annoying, and I get it. Like, that's what is part of the charm. And so I feel like I'm taking too much time gushing over these two because I just think they should have won this match. Like, again, every single person I talk to, every show I listen to, or anyone that's given their opinion on who they wanted to win this, not who they thought was going to win, but who they wanted to win, was Chelsea and Piper. I feel like it was unanimous, and like it just made sense for them to be the ones.
We all said we wanted.
Out here.
We all said we wanted Chelsea and Piper to win. The only difference was all three of us also said. Even you, before you said it, you're like, I don't think they're going to do this. But
I said I'm voting with my heart. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. And because they should have won it. Again, I was right here. They were wrong. I'll put it there. I have a good idea for Chelsea. So anyone has Chelsea's number, I swear, not in a creepy way. I have a great idea for her. And I actually have means to make it happen.
All right.
It's good.
For the record, I'm the only one that got that one right, but it's just because I was the only one who was wrong with the WWE.
Yeah. Gross. So we'll move on to the next match. Seth Rollins versus Big Bronson Reed. All of us had Seth winning this one. I kept thinking about, like, even after the show, reached out to you guys saying, like, I'm going to switch it to Bronson. And I'm glad I didn't, because he should have won this match.
I thought he was going to right in the beginning. I thought he was. Like, I thought when he hit that first tsunami right in the beginning, that they were just gonna that was gonna be the end of the match, and I would have been okay with being wrong for that reason.
You remember the Raw before this match when Bronson put Seth in the hospital?
Yes.
Because Seth didn't remember that. He didn't look like he was hurt at all. Like, that was didn't he, like, hurt his back or whatever it was?
Something
shoulder.
Like that. One thing that I will say about this match, I don't think Bronson Reed left weak at the end of this. Only because of the immediate stand up. The other thing I'd like to throw a little shout out to Big Bronson Reed on is nice gear, buddy. I thought you'd like that. You want to pimp out MF Doom? I'm with you, bro. Like, hell yeah. Thank you, Big Bronson Reed. Like, I already liked you, and now yes, sir.
I think just with Bronson Reed, they're missing the boat here. They have the opportunity to build this monster, and then they went this route. Like I don't know why. Even if he doesn't get to a title, like, because spoilers for Raw, they're back at it. I'm not going to say what's happening on the Raw. It was pre-taped, so sorry if I spoiled anything. But they interact again in a similar capacity afterwards. So even in that vein, that like storyline math, you put Bronson Reed over first.
I would, again, my original prediction was that Seth Rollins was going to win this match, but he was not going to win this fight. Yeah. I thought but he still won the fight. That's the thing, is I would have, even the way I thought that they were going to do it, where all of a sudden they showed Bronson Reed hitting that first tsunami. I was like, oh, he's going to hit this first one, and then he's going to hit like 17 more. And they're going to throw the match out. Like, they're going to give it to Rollins because he's just not going to stop hitting tsunamis. And I was like, which is pretty much what we said. And I think that would have worked better. You can lose and still win. You can lose the match, but you won the fight. And that's the thing is, and even there's certain situations where you don't necessarily want to see Seth Rollins win the match over Bronson Reed. You want to see Seth Rollins go in there and, like, get his comeuppance on Bronson Reed a little bit. And the problem is you already saw him get his comeuppance on Bronson Reed. Like, this was it. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. He won the match. And he did it kind of convincingly.
Yeah.
He hit three stomps. One was a super stomp.
We talked about this. This is exactly what I was afraid of. I saw it coming. And sure, he stood up at the end. Cool. Whatever. I just think that, Seth didn't need to win this match. Bronson needed to. I think this takes him down a peg, in my opinion. They took that heat right from Bronson and threw it to Solo, in my opinion.
Let's get it, like, honestly, let's get Bronson away from Seth Rollins and have him start throwing chairs and humans at Braun Strowman again.
Yeah, Braun Strowman would be fine. Braun Breaker would be cool.
Truthfully, they're not going to have him with Braun Strowman because Strowman's already injured again.
Yeah, and throw him at CM Punk. I think that's two heels. Good one. So what? They're different heels. Didn't you know? Him and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, the true babyface. He's got no, Bronson Reed's a face, isn't he? That's how that works. He's the good guy here, right? Because he's definitely a heel because he hurt R-Truth. That's how you know. He hurt R-Truth. That's how you know. How dare you?
He crossed some lines.
The nerve of some people. This match was overall, it was a good match. Like it was solid. It was disappointing on the way they booked it. I just wanted more out of it.
I didn't like like you said, I didn't like the way they booked it. I think this still might have been, never mind. I was about to say something. I was wrong. This wasn't my favorite match. My favorite match was still the men's Crown Jewel match, but this was still.
Yeah, I agree. But
yeah,
I don't know. The 6-man tag might have been my favorite match of the night, even though like I don't typically like 6-man tag matches. That one was done really well for what it was.
That's the thing, is the show overall was okay. It was pretty good. It's just a matter of,
it was good with the shrug.
So yeah, some of this stuff was a little bit too predictable.
But like I still
not in
think
a good way.
It wasn't that predictable. Because I don't think that Bianca and Jade winning was that predictable. It could have easily gone any way there. This one I thought was predictable. The next match, we all chose something different, and only one of us was correct. The women's matches were really, really a head scratcher.
The ones that really threw us off.
So the women's Crown Jewel match of Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax, in the shortest match of the night, I believe. It was like 8 minutes long, and I'm not sure why. Nia is not a fast-paced wrestler. Typically, her matches need a little bit of time to breathe and build and whatnot, and so like I really am surprised. I'm really surprised that they kept it this short. I had mentioned, I was really shocked that Nia didn't go over here. I get the Liv and the outside interference. I'm getting real tired of the Tiffany trying to cash in and being told she's not allowed to. That one is head scratching in its own right. Like, this could have been really cool where she cashed in on Liv, then Nia pinned Tiffy to win Crown Jewel, like something along those lines. I know that Liv goes over, so like, or some way around that. It just, I don't know. I'm getting over Tiffy coming down with the briefcase, listening to Nia that she can't cash it in, even if she was trying to cash it in on Liv at the moment, which would have been that, which is what I said was going to happen.
So this is where I'm going to go with that. Some of the stuff on this card was predictable. Now then, I am going to be the guy that's going to sound like a jerk here. It's my job. Liv winning this, and eventually later even more so, they are the people that, I hate to say it, but the Emirates want to have paraded in front of their crowd. They're the pretty people. They're the good-looking baby face type people, even though there was no baby face in this match.
No,
I get there was no baby face.
Liv is not a baby face.
She is not.
Nia's more baby face than Liv is.
The funny thing is, Liv was not a baby face until she won, and then they treated her like a baby face.
Oh, they sure did. Well,
everyone treated her like a baby face.
Wait. They treated her. Do you mean the crowd or WWE?
WWE.
So I disagree. They treated her like a tournament champion. It's not treating her like a babyface.
That's fair.
They were trying to make this a thing, a prestigious award. They also did this to, I mean, I guess it was in the same country, but they also did this to Nia, who is not the face.
For King and Queen of the Ring.
And they crowned her, and they did the thing in that situation, even though there was a baby face in it. It was about the prestige of the Crown Jewel, nothing else. I think that Liv was the one that was a little bit off, because she was like, I guess she was jubilant
she started acting babyface, and even her promo, or the interviews that she gives afterwards are, I hate to say it, are half babyface until she realizes what she's doing, and then she kind of snaps back in a little bit.
But it's not off character. Sorry to disagree with you so much, Steve, but actually I'm not really all that sorry. But what
we're here for.
This is her plan coming to fruition, right? She was a babyface before she got hurt, and then she got on this revenge tour, Now, this is not one of the. I'm not going to start telling you how she's the good guy in all this, because she is not.
She's
So,
not.
this is not. This is. Don't buckle up. This is not what you're in for. But what she's doing is like her master plan is unfolding in front of her eyes perfectly. Like even her own plans. I don't think she could have imagined in kayfabe things going as well as they did. Like the surprise that Dom actually chose her, the winning the crown jewel. She was always planning on taking Dom from Rhea, but it really didn't look like that was going to happen. The winning the title was something that she wanted to walk away with, but she's now like shelved Rhea twice since she's come back. And then coming here, beating Nia, who Nia always kind of had her number in the past.
I agree.
And winning this is a moment that she can enjoy, and just wait until I haven't seen tonight's Raw. We're recording this on Monday, but wait to her being overly obnoxious with that ring. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen.
So I will also say this. I still stand by my picks on the 2 Crown Jewel matches. But my picks might have been a little different if I had thought about the amount of adulation that the winners were going to get afterwards. I might have chosen differently, at least for the men's, and I probably wouldn't have chosen Tiffany just cashing in during it. Although I still think cashing in was the right choice. This is one of those times where I'm going to agree with, where I'm going to say something you're going to say. I was right. They were wrong. Yeah. She should have cashed in, walked out with at least 2 titles, and been like, yeah, of course I did. It's Tiffy time. And it would have gotten a huge pop. But also it wouldn't have worked because of said adulation. The big to do afterwards. It kind of makes it a little less. It's very whelming.
You could have easily done that. You have Tiffany come out, pins Liv, and then Nia attacks her because the match is still on. It's champion versus champion for the crown jewel, and then you could have had Tiffany win that the way you picked it.
And you still get your...
And then all that adulation, and then that's her face turn.
Yeah. And you still get the pretty blonde-haired princess. Mm-hmm.
And you elevate Tiffany at the same time.
Yep. Instead, you got... you still got 2 pretty blonde-haired princesses.
You sure did. Though... And you talk about like if you would have known things. If I would have known that those belts were going to stay in Saudi Arabia and you were going to get a ring, I might have picked Liv. I said the reason I didn't pick Liv was because that belt was bigger than she is, and it's impossible for her to carry it.
That ring is still bigger than she is.
But Dom could have carried that for her.
That's right.
Around his neck, around his neck on a chain.
Man.
So for that, Hound had Liv winning there. So you guys to this point are tied, and I am 1 match behind. So I wonder if I'm going to catch up. Who knows? If you listen to the previous episode, like a lot of you did, thank you again for that. You know what happens next. So for this one, I believe I got this match right, and you guys didn't. For Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, I think I said this match is never going to take place in the first place, and they're all just going to beat each other around the ring. Refs are going to get stunnered. Commissioners are going to get RKO'd. I said all that, didn't I?
I think you might have.
Didn't I?
At least we still agree. I think we agreed with you. I don't think that you were completely by your lonesome on this one.
No, this one we all had Kevin Owens winning. This match just didn't happen. It was cool. I actually really like. This is probably what my favorite thing to happen through the night.
This was my favorite segment.
Yeah, like this turning into no one's safe. Everyone's gonna get their asses kicked. Get out of the way or be part of the collateral damage. This is exactly how this match should have gone down. or
So
whatever you want to
did you
call it.
hear the backstory, more of the backstory to the match now?
I
There's
don't know if I
backstory
did.
from Saudi even.
Okay.
So apparently, I guess when they flew in there, the Doom buggy thing. Have you
Yes, I
heard
did
about
hear
it?
this. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
where like they're like, oh yeah, they took us on these trips to go on this Doom buggy, and me and Kathy Kelly flipped over like 3 to 5 times at least.
Yeah, they showed
And
the pictures of it. That really happened.
yeah, that really did happen. And then he's like, it's a conspiracy. They planned it that way.
I love how
Kevin
he was
Owens is amazing.
he's like, I think I broke a rib, which I believe, and he goes,
I
but
do believe that.
I didn't let the trainers look at it because I don't trust them either.
I love this. I love everything that he's doing right now.
Yep, gold. The
Thank you KO for being so good right now.
top 3 babyface.
Top 3 babyface. On this show, at least. And I don't mean on the WWE or Crown Jewel. I mean on this show. I still follow Lariat. He's one of our top 3
like it is. But this was awesome. I really thought this went down perfectly. Like, these guys didn't care about a match. This wasn't about winning.
No, this was about beating people, beating each other up.
Yep, and I think this elevated the two of them to a level. I mean, these are top echelon guys. So like, it's not like I'm talking about things like Piper and Chelsea that like elevating them to the next level, or Bronson to the next level. These guys are already there, but this elevates the stakes. This elevates the stakes between the two of them to a certain degree that I want to see them wrestle again. I don't know if Randy's going to be taking some time off because he essentially gets stretchered out of there. And so I'm not sure kind of what that means, if he's going to be on TV, off TV. Again, haven't watched Raw, the Raw after this yet. So fingers crossed. It's definitely seeming like Kevin Owens is going to be building towards a Cody match, which, man, I really want to see Kevin Owens win. I want to see him win that match so badly that I might pick him for that match when it ultimately happens, even though I know I'll probably be wrong.
So I said this during our preview episode. I know Kevin Owens has kind of said and stated he doesn't need to or want to really win a title again for the entire time that he's in the WWE. I would like them to kind of do it anyway.
Yep.
Like, look, I don't care that that's not what you want. You're still under contract with us, and we're putting this
right
belt on you because,
line.
yeah, like you are the right choice here, and we're doing this. Excuse me. I loved everything about this, though. I love the fight. I love just how they're doing this.
I want to say this is my favorite match of the night, but then also we didn't get our 7 matches went down to 6 because of this. But what can you do? So this and the Liv Morgan Nia Jax match makes it so it fits into the same bucket. You got 2 extra matches, and we're just gonna scrunch those down a bit. Not much to review in this match. It was carnage. Check it out. It was really, really cool. The next match was my favorite of all matches. The 3-way. You had the U.S. champion LA Knight, going up against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. You know what this was? This was a fantastic Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes match, and it was just interrupted by LA Knight over and over again.
Yep.
I really like these guys going on. If this was the actual 7th match without LA Knight in here, I'd have been really happy. These guys are tremendous athletes. They put on a really, really good night of wrestling. And then LA Knight just kind of came in. The end of this match was awesome. It was absolutely amazing. And we all knew that LA Knight was going to win this. So that was I think we said this was the most predictable match of the night.
This was the most predictable match. And even going in there, I kind of thought that this was how the match was even going to go. Although we did say this during the preview, and I think we are correct. It didn't seem to be like there was actual jamoking.
Yeah, I think you were the one that said it, that there won't be a lot of Jim Elgin in this match.
If someone was out of the match, it was justifiable why they were out of the match. You know, Andrade would hit that boot into the elbow, and they would fall out of the ring. It's like, okay, well, now I know why they're not going to be in the match for the next 30 seconds to a minute.
There's a difference between being gone for 30 seconds on a big move than 10 minutes on a back body drop.
Or a thumb to the eye.
Yeah, exactly. This match, I don't know. We didn't spend much time on it beforehand. I don't know if we'll spend much more time on it here either. I really want to see them. I want them to figure out what to do with Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, because this was just a build to put over LA Knight, and I really don't think it did that great of a job of doing so. So with LA Knight, he deserves to go over. This just wasn't the grouping I would have put him with.
LA Knight needs a dragon to slay.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
We're trying to give him Bronson Reed. Send Bronson Reed over to SmackDown.
I think Bronson Reed is the perfect guy for that.
Yep.
Because unfortunately, the only other guy that I can think of, and if you have him lose at the end of this feud, it makes him human, is Jacob Fatu. And I kind of want to have Jacob Fatu win. I'd want Jacob Fatu to win at the end of that.
But yeah, so sorry not to cut this one short, but I don't think there was really much.
It just wasn't that.
It was.
It was what it was. It was.
It was. And then, man, Steven, this is the main event, and I'm losing. I wonder what happens next. So for the main event, the men's crown jewel.
Ooh.
We have the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, versus the Ring General, Gunter. I'll cut to the end because I don't want to be losing anymore. I am the only one that chose Cody. So we end the night 4-4. I should have won, but whatever.
WWE is wrong.
They were wrong because I would have been 5 to your 3, which would have been nice. You would have walked away sore on that one. Me beating you by 2 on this.
I would have been real mad. Actually, I don't know, because if they did what they should have done, Tiffy would have cashed in, and I would have been right too.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about me now.
Oh, just you. We're just talking about you at this point.
Come on. Like, listen, man, you know how this goes. But we had this was a solid match. This could have been much better, in my opinion, between these two guys. I like the storyline they had going here. I like how Gunter. He seemed like he trained for this match. Like he was saying the whole time he was going to put Cody to sleep. And he really stood by that. But he was a bit redundant in this match, a little bit more so than I really wanted him to be. Cody was Cody in this match. I don't know. I for what this was, the champion versus champion match, I wish they both would have elevated a bit. And it was a decent length match. It was like a 20+ minute match.
I would say it was a good length match. Overall, I liked it. I did like the match. I like the ending.
It's my favorite ending of a match, probably ever.
I like the Cody cutter into the sleeper hold into the roll up.
My favorite Mania match of all times, when we talked about it, was Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper, and the way they ended that match is Piper puts Bret Hart in the sleeper hold. Bret runs up the ring post, flips over, and pins Piper. Now, part of the reason why I love that so much is because Piper never gets pinned. And so like that made it a little bit bigger. But like when I saw this finish, I was like, ooh, I just absolutely love this finish.
This is how I was saying during the women's crown jewel match, though. If I had known going into this that we were going to, if I thought about the fact that they were going to do this level of commencement and adulation afterwards, I probably would have picked Cody as well, because that has Cody screaming all over it, and including the ring. The ring has Cody written all over it, because for those of you who only follow his WWE or AEW career, Cody, when he was the Ring of Honor World Champion, literally walked around with a Ring of Honor. And it looked real similar. It's about the same size. It's just like MJF's Dynamite Diamond ring. It's the same ring.
That's one thing that I was thinking about is that this ring is going to be used. Like Liv's going to use this ring to punch people in the face.
Oh yeah. Or Raquel's gonna. Yeah, like Raquel's gonna put it on her pinky.
Yeah. After Cody won, like I picked Cody on this one part. I said one of the reasons why I really thought Cody was going to win this was because he otherwise would have been the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. And that's a mouthful. It's already a mouthful, but being undisputed it's tough. It's tough to be that guy. So I was pretty convinced that Cody was going to win this match. I agree that Gunter could have gone over, but I mean, Cody is just on a different level right now. He's a superhero. He is the person that they're building this company around right now. And they really are building him up to be untouchable. What really makes me nervous is that if The Rock comes back and beats him after all this build, it's going to waste everything.
A lot.
But now with this, I don't know who could touch Cody. Like Cody's champion for the next 15 years. Like at this point in time, the way they're building him up.
I know I keep saying like this. Cody's a politician, man. Like he's shaking hands and kissing babies, and he's just working his way higher and higher up. And the other side of this,
hands.
Yes, he's also shaking babies and kissing hands. The other side of this is if they had announced what they kept saying, because it's WWE and they're going to keep ramming that home, they had said it 3 weeks ago and kept saying it then, we all might have had a different pick. The one thing they kept pushing towards the end, Cody's looking to do the one thing no Rhodes has ever done, win a major title internationally. They just kept saying it. If they had said that 2 weeks ago, I probably would have went Cody too, because I'm like, oh, this is just more story. He's always finishing the story. He's literally just doing all the things his father has never done. That is really what Cody is doing right now. And unfortunately, it's not always the most interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I mean, I chose Cody.
This was good. I thought this match was good. But I mean, overall, Cody's title run has been a little vanilla at best.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bland. But I mean, I like this match. I thought this was the best match of the night.
His title run's been bland because there's no tension. There's no expectation that he's going to lose. And with Roman, when he was in his reign of terror, he won a lot of that because the Bloodline was there to help him. So if the Bloodline just had a misstep, he could have easily lost. That's what happened in the first match when Jimmy didn't get there in time, when Roman ends up losing twice because Jimmy didn't get there to save him in time.
Yep.
There was a bit of tension of, could he actually lose this?
Yeah, Cody's just been winning clean this whole time.
This whole time he's winning everything clean.
He's been winning clean for the last 3 years.
Which I will say though, I'm really happy that he beat Gunter clean. Because I said it on the predictions, I was really nervous about what's the point of this if someone doesn't go over.
That's fair, and especially since the Liv Nia had so much interference in it.
But that's fine. Judgment Day will always interfere in that way. They're again, it's the hyenas. They'll come out of nowhere, pick you apart, and leave the pieces for the person in the match. That's expected at this point. That's how Liv got to where she's at. So I don't expect her to act any differently. Gunter doesn't work that way. Cody doesn't work that way.
That's
you don't ever see any of Gunter's friends getting involved in a match to help him win. Though I struggle for that pin, as much as I like the ending, for the ring general not to know let go of the sleeper hold because you're getting pinned. It's a dicey question mark on someone who's supposed to be that
it's a little
strong.
shaky there, bud.
Yeah, so I'll just throw that out there. To recap where we are right now, Steven. Overall, I still have you by 11 picks. Since Hound has joined the show, you and me are tied 23 picks apiece, and he's at 22. Respectable. We've been doing this for a while at this point in time. He just got here, only being down one. There's no shame in that. Don't tell him I said that, though. I hope it's on a record. So to recap kind of what happened on this show, we all had the Bloodline 2.0 winning. You had Bianca and Jade retaining the tag team titles wrongly, but you still picked it correct. We all had Seth Rollins winning. Hound was the only one that chose Liv to win, and I was even in the show. You could see the look of surprise. Like, really? I think that was my exact words.
And you were also surprised when you picked Damage Control. Because he said everyone else except for Damage Control. It was like, I don't know, it could be Bianca and Jade, and I would love Chelsea and Piper. You know what? I'm going Damage Control.
That was different. That was his build. That was just a bait and switch kind of thing. He came straight out and said Liv. Kevin Owens,
match just never happened.
But match didn't happen. So I wasn't wrong, but Steven, you weren't right. We all had LA Knight, and I was the only one that had Cody. All going 4 picks apiece in this 6 match night. Overall, it was good with a shrug. It was okay. It was exactly in line with some of these other events. Didn't hate it. Could have been better. But let us know what you guys thought. Put your picks in below. Tell us where we were wrong. Tell us when we're too full of ourselves, because I know we are. Please give us some feedback. Again, thank you guys so much for your support on the last episode for the Crown Jewel predictions. We're going to keep it up. If we keep seeing traction like that, we will definitely keep making these videos for your enjoyment. Anyway, give us your feedback and we'll make them better. We promise. Thank you all for this crazy ride with us. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back later this week to review TNA and WWE. Hound and Steven will take the other guys afterwards with AEW and NXT. They typically record on Sundays. So I think, did you post it on Monday the 4th?
Yes.
Yep. So that video is already up, and then they'll come next week. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate you. And Steven?
As always, tuck a chin when you bump.